Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy.
Should I continue because you're going to eat your hamburger?
I was going to do a gag, but we're not doing this gag. It's too much work. Screw it.
So, Lex and I'm Dan. This is
And I'm Lex.
Yeah, we're the hosts of Don't Copy That Floppy, the show you're listening to right now. We're both kind of in the middle of eating, but we're going to tell you all about video game news while we eat. I have spaghetti, and he's got some delightful burgers.
This is just like that dinner in a movie TV show.
Yeah. Think about it that way.
Beans
so it
and
seems
cornbread.
less unprofessional.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
So we're a weekly video game news podcast. We talk about video game news every week. Who would have thought? We broadcast from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Fridays. I always want to say on Saturdays. I have no idea why. On Fridays, every week, and we broadcast live. You can listen to us on chipbit.net, Chipbit Radio, or on iTunes. You can subscribe to us on iTunes as well as following us on Facebook at Don't Copy That Floppy, and on Twitter at DCTF Podcast, and Steam.
Yeah, we've also got a Steam group called Don't Copy That Floppy.
Yep.
You can, and we're a curator on there, so you can follow us like that and check out our game recommendations.
We are all over the place.
Did you want to know if you should play Shovel Knight? Did you want an opinion on that? You've probably got plenty, but in case you needed one more, we'll tell you.
You go there onto the Steam, and you'll find out if you should play Shovel Knight. So,
what news have we got today? We got a bunch of Destiny-related news.
Destiny news, my favorite. We have some news about Halo. Halo side project that's happening right now.
Mr. Chef of the Halo.
That I was, I guess, blissfully unaware of.
Yes, that's the best way to describe it.
And we have a little bit of news about Blizzard, because Bliz-Con just happened.
Big announcement from them.
This is like the big thing.
We got a couple of different pieces of Nintendo news, both from their recent live stream and from some other ways they've been in the press.
A little snippet about The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Which is on its way out soon. Then we'll wrap up by talking about some upcoming game releases. There's some important stuff coming out in the next few weeks.
Yep.
I may do a game review.
Oh yeah, so for those of you who listened last week, you got to hear an episode that you'll never hear again because the record didn't work.
Yeah, normally we have an archive of episodes that we put up afterwards, but I guess we didn't actually get a copy of last week's episode. So, in that episode, Lex reviewed Gauntlet.
The new Gauntlet, yeah.
I did a very rushed review of Bayonetta 2. So I may take a little time at the end of the show if we have time this week to do a slightly more robust review
Very
of
good.
Bayonetta 2. A slightly more bodacious review of Bayonetta 2,
I'm excited already.
Oh,
also, you guys, if you want to chat along with us live, ask us questions in the show, tell us that we smell bad. I don't know how you know that. That would just be a baseless insult.
I actually smell kind of bad right now.
Damn it, Dad.
I got sweaty all day.
But you can, if you go to chipbit.net, there is a button to chat right on the top of the screen. You can click that. You don't need to have a pre-made account. You just make up a username. You don't even need a password. And you can jump into their chat, which we are in right now.
Yep, cool guy Dan, that's me.
And yeah, you can talk to Dan.
About whatever you want, really. Doesn't even have to be video games. Just tell me how you're feeling, whatever.
What kind of sandwich do you like?
Are you actually asking?
No, that's what they could talk about.
Oh, okay, you're just giving
It's an example.
Okay.
An example I'd like them to discuss. Strong suggestion.
So what's the first thing about Destiny we're talking about this week? It's not really about the game itself. It's about a developer.
Yes.
Destiny.
Okay, so this is an article from Polygon from November 7th. Today. And this is entitled, Destiny Developer Startled Awake by Police, Sheriff's Helicopter After Faked 911 Call. Alright, so who here has heard of swatting?
I have.
You don't do it against insects. It's not like that. And it's not some weird sexual thing.
And it's not like planking.
I wish it was like planking.
That sensation that came and went.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
So, swatting is when you have some sort of internet gaming rival who is doing some sort of live stream, and you, as the person who does not like the person doing the live stream, make a prank call to 911 saying that the person doing this live stream has like hostages or is doing something super illegal and very dangerous, and they need to get the SWAT team over there
goes
right
busts
away.
Into their house and messes them up.
Yeah, and then you as the person watching the live stream get to lull your buns off while you watch like this person get pulled away from their computer by like a SWAT team.
And probably savagely beaten.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually mildly shocked that like someone hasn't just been shot while doing a live stream.
I kind of am too.
Because you think that would put an end to swatting. Because when you see someone get murdered right in front of you because of a prank...
You would think it would put an end to swatting. But something tells me it wouldn't.
Luckily, that has not happened. But they have managed to take swatting to a whole new level. Because now it's not just Joe from Milwaukee whose live stream you don't like. Now it's... I'm just giving an example, right? Now it is one of the main guys who worked on Destiny. Now
they did not disclose his name. I believe.
They didn't disclose his name, but somebody did the prank call. They managed to an
unnamed high up executive at Bungie.
Yeah, they managed to do some sort of technical computer wizardry. I don't know how it works.
Call. Said they made a call by computer.
Yeah, but they made it seem like it was coming from his house.
Oh, okay.
Which was the important part.
Oh, these hackers on steroids.
Oh, no.
How will we stop them?
So, they did that, and then the SWAT team showed up to this guy's house at 4 a.m.
Yep.
Luckily, the situation only lasted for 45 minutes.
That's all.
Oh, that's all, yeah.
That's how long it took them to determine the call was fake.
Yeah. So they, detained that guy and were probably savagely beating him for 45 minutes.
Yeah, they haven't figured out where the call came from. The caller faces up to a year in jail and a $5,000 fine. The police officer or detective who was on the scene said, chief of police at the local department said, "This is not a game." Oh, the irony.
That was the best quote he could have given.
I really hope that was intentional on his part.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very serious response that could have had serious consequences, and we're just fortunate that didn't happen this time. It puts officers' lives at risk when you respond to something this serious. It puts the citizens' lives at risk. So, he's basically saying the thing that makes sense, which is, you shouldn't really play around with 911 at all, because it's there for, a reason. And, somebody could have actually been holding hostages when this 911 call went out and these guys responded to this fake one.
Yeah.
You're wasting, time and resources of, people who need time and resources to help other people.
Definitely.
So it's just a jerky thing to do. Really. Aside from the victim of it, it's more jerky to society at large.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of why would you do this?
One of the things I thought about was sort of an interesting
Just
take on this.
Just email him or something.
I know, right? So yeah, one of the things I thought was interesting was that a lot of these incidents of swatting have happened, as we've talked about. Well, maybe not a lot, but enough to make the news several times in the past 6 months to a year. And there really haven't been any sort of precautions put in place in games on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or whatever servers big MMOs use to sort of deter or stop this kind of thing from happening.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily think the game industry needs to do that, but
what could you put in place?
Stuff that makes everyone's life worse.
Yeah. I'm thinking nothing I can think of is anything less than super obstructive and extreme.
Yeah.
As far as still being able to enjoy your game.
But needed to.
Yeah.
But now a CEO was he a CEO?
He was an executive.
Oh, an executive.
Yeah.
Of a major video game company has had this done to him. So now I get the feeling that
something might happen.
At least at Bungie, they're gonna implement something.
Because like you said, up until this point, it's all been just random people.
Yeah.
Normies, as we like to call them.
Normies.
But yeah, now that it's somebody important, quote unquote, they're gonna, you know,
Yeah.
possibly throw a hissy fit and get something done about it. But time will tell. While we're on the subject of Destiny, did everybody know that Destiny already has a sequel in the works?
It must be doing so well.
I'm sure it's doing great. And actually, the sad part is I think it is doing great. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose us our Bungie scholarship. What am I talking about? I'm tired. Sponsorship.
I want a Bungie scholarship.
I want Bungie to send me to college. So, November 4th, 2014, that's this past, what is that, Monday? Tuesday?
From Forbes.
From Forbes. This is, an article just saying that so Destiny obviously has had a pretty stellar launch and opening few months, in spite of its cobbled together, repetitive, not really what was promised, like final incarnation. And Bungie is already planning on releasing their first expansion pack in December, but they have apparently also started working on their next full retail release. However, it's probably still a long way off. So the CEO of Activision Publishing, Eric Hirschberg, said, "We are very pleased with the launch and continuing engagement. Work has also begun on future expansion packs as well as our next full game release." So they are really trying to push this to make this game into like a big ol' revenue stream. And they're looking at things like World of Warcraft, which charges people a monthly subscription, which they're also doing. And then World of Warcraft also has like a big infrequent expansions that cost like $40 or so. Then there's something like Call of Duty, which comes out every year and is $60 single-time release. And this article says that you can think of that in similar means to an MMO expansion, that buying this new game every year is kind of like buying an upgrade to your previous game. In theory, it serves the same sort of function. And they want Destiny to be somewhere in the middle. So something like 3 expansion packs a year at $20, as well as a full $60 release every 2 years.
Somewhere in the middle describes Destiny perfectly.
Yes. So allegedly the game has, Hirschberg says that allegedly the game has 9.5 million registered users as well, which is a lot. That's more than I expected, honestly.
So,
I just want to bring up that 3 expansion packs a year at $20 plus a full $60 release every 2 years. This game is expensive.
And you're paying the subscription fee.
Yeah. This game is really expensive, if that's their plan. And from what I've heard about it and seen of it, this game's not worth that much money. Like, and maybe that's just my personal opinion on it, but like, I don't see anything in this that warrants paying that much money.
It partially depends on how great these 3 times a year expansions are, and we'll know that when the first one comes out.
Right. And I mean, but I mean, to some degree, we can gauge it. We can make assumptions based off of the base game.
Yeah.
Which is nothing special.
Well, really. There's also
it's very out of the ordinary or particularly like noteworthy and different.
I was reading an article on Destiny, which I didn't post as one of our articles because it wasn't like, it was just an opinion piece. But it was about how a lot of all the patches and upgrades to Destiny that they've done since launch have all been fixes. None of them have actually been additions to the game. Right. Yeah.
They've just been fixing all those loot caves.
All those loot caves.
That's probably why the guy got the SWAT team called on him. They want their loot caves back.
Yeah. I can't deal with these loot stairs. I need my caves back, alright? But, yeah, a lot of what the guy was bringing up was like, hey, you know how, like, there could be a better fast travel system, or like a better map system, or other things to streamline the gameplay.
Or
like
maybe a better story.
Yeah, but okay, so they were like, they might get to streamlining those gameplay mechanics eventually, but they're so bogged down in fixing glitches, they haven't even gotten to that yet. So again, maybe when we see this first little expansion come out, that'll be all the stuff that's in it. That would be good.
Yeah.
Plus
I have a bad feeling that they're going to save major engine changes and gameplay additions of that scale for a next full retail release.
Yeah.
Which I don't like very much.
But the other thing is they said they were trying to look at the World of Warcraft model.
Right.
But as we know, the World of Warcraft model, as you mentioned earlier, is not nearly as expensive as this.
No.
And World of Warcraft is not cheap.
World of Warcraft has patch changes, like large patch updates, fairly regularly that add big chunks of new content into the game for free. So, like, aside from the monthly fee, all you're paying for is the next expansion pack. So, like, $40 every few years. But aside from that, you're just paying the monthly fee. With this, you're paying a monthly fee. You're paying $60 every 2 years for a new game. And then the equivalent to World of Warcraft's content patch updates is $20 a piece. Where for World of Warcraft, those are completely free. They add new raids, new, like, items, like, all sorts of new stuff. So this, yeah, like you said, this is ridiculously expensive, comparatively, even if that's the model they're going for. And them citing World of Warcraft, in my opinion, kind of shoots them in the foot, because anyone can look at World of Warcraft and be like, well, they did it this way, and didn't, hold us up at gunpoint for more money.
But that gun is super futuristic looking.
Yeah, I know. They've got to pay Peter Dinklage's salary somehow.
And has a really funny generic sci-fi title.
Yeah.
Oh, my monitor stream has gone down, but that's okay. Dan, you need better internet in your house.
I'm sorry. It's not. Our router's like 9 years old.
Oh.
Don't blame me.
But yeah, what was I going to say? This is just so... The title of this article is super misleading.
Yes.
Because it says that there's a sequel in the works, which is not true.
It is true.
Well, no, because if we see the 2-year games as the way Blizzard does it with WoW...
If we see it that way.
And
all they've described it as a full game release every 2 years.
See, so that's the one thing I'm a little confused about. If it's like how, like, Cataclysm for WoW, then I get it, because it's the same game, it's just an expansion. Right. But if it's like another game...
I think it's going to be another game. Because they also cite Call of Duty.
Yeah,
in which it is an entirely new game. Yeah,
then you're definitely not following the WoW model, or you're not
now
following...
we're going to have, like, Destiny 2, Destiny Harder. Like... Destiny 2, Destined.
Don't you besmirch Bruce Willis movie references with Destiny?
Destiny 2, Rise of the Awakening Darkness.
Oh, God.
Chronicles. This... to kind of sum up my feelings on this, Destiny, whether the game is good or bad, I'm not going to say anything about its merits as a video game. Destiny is one of the most blatant, unashamed, cash grab, manufactured hype video games I've ever seen in my life. Like, I regardless of how good the game actually is, I cannot get over how unashamed they are to sell this game purely on advertising with very little... I don't think this game sold nearly as much what it did on its merits as a game. This game sold what it did because they advertised the crap out of it. Like, it was insane. And beyond that, now that it is out, and we know that the gameplay is nothing to write home about, that the setting is nothing to write home about, it's just more sci-fi shooter, and now seeing that they're planning on doing all of these expansions and releases for it, I'm like, this game is just it's an uninspired money-making machine. There's no heart here. And I don't like it. Like, this makes me really upset that this seems to be, like, the big thing for video games right now, is this soulless husk designed to steal your money.
Okay, I hate
Take that, Bungie.
I hate to break up your rant, but
okay.
On my monitor of the audio, it doesn't sound like we're on there. but on your software it says that we're broadcasting.
It sure does.
So I'm really not sure what's going on right now.
Should we just keep going?
If it's still recording, we should just keep going, because then we'll have a full recording.
It looks like it is. So even if we cut off of the server, we'll have
the archive.
Have the archive folder, or file.
Sorry, people who are listening.
So...
But what are you listening to? I'm going to talk about that for a minute. You're listening to Don't Copy That Floppy, your weekly news and review video game podcast on chipit.net. We're one of the now 2 podcasts on chipit.net.
There's another one?
I forgot the name of the other one, but you know what? It's great. I listened to it for a little while. It was great.
What do they talk about?
It's more of a music countdown program. Cool. It's not just talk radio like us.
So go listen to them too.
They're great.
Yeah.
If you go right to the Chip It homepage, you'll find both shows listed there. So you can like us on Facebook, Don't Copy That Floppy. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Don't Copy That Floppy. Or you can join our Steam group and look at all of our curator recommendations. So
I think we're good on our broadcast.
Okay.
Seems like it's going through fine.
Okay, so, cool. It's probably just a problem with my computer.
Yeah, but whatever. So, sorry, did you finish our little station identification?
I think, yeah.
I was asking in chat if our audio is still working.
Okay. Did you want to do, we're not at the halfway point. Let's do another story, and then I want to do plug time.
Oh, okay. So, let's talk about this new Halo TV show. I didn't know this was a thing.
So this is an article from The Verge from November 6th.
The Verge.
And again, the title of this article is amazing. Ridley Scott's Halo TV show is off to a very, very bad start.
Just what you want to hear about your new television series.
And this article is by 12 different people.
Oh God, wow.
And you're going to find out why when we go into it.
Yes.
So there is a trailer for it, which... admittedly, we haven't watched because we're bad. Because we're real video game journalists. We don't need to watch or play things.
Paid for this? Are you kidding? So yeah, this trailer's out. These guys at The Verge got to watch the first episode early, however.
Yeah, I guess they showed it to a bunch of different press.
Yeah, and they say they say whether or not you're a Halo fan, the outlook is frankly not so good.
So this is ridiculous because it's like 12 different people in their offices watched it.
Yes.
And some of them are people who play Halo, and some of them are people who watch sci-fi stuff, and some of them are just like some of them like cars. Like they describe each person like by the thing that they're yeah. So some of them have no connection, some of them are super connected to the lore and the franchise, and all of them hated it. Every single one hated it.
Universally despised.
And they list some pretty good reasons. For one thing, the budget on the show. And you can tell from looking at the stills, which we have looked at, because we did a little bit of research, alright? That this thing is just like... wow, they didn't put a lot of money behind this. Or if they did, I don't know what they spent it on. But
like, the stills look like a low-budget like web series with a like filter slapped over it.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
And the props look like they're obviously like Halo guns, but they look very plastic.
The props look fine, but like you mentioned the guns. The guns look like, yeah, like you said, the guns look like Halo guns, but they look cheap.
Yeah.
The rest of the props are fine also.
But they
don't look like Halo.
No,
props.
they don't look like. They just look like generic, like military props.
Yeah, I am Space Soldier Man. Here's my Space Soldier shirt. Like if I was not told this was Halo, I would not have guessed. Like if that guy wasn't holding that Halo assault rifle in the screenshot, I would have no idea this was supposed to have anything to do with Halo.
There's no Spartans.
Their uniforms also don't look like the Halo Marine uniforms.
No.
At all.
It's just
like Halo has established uniforms for the foot soldiers, and they don't look anything like this. Like this is bad.
They talk about They also talk a little bit about the CGI in this show,
which is apparently abysmal.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, there's an elite that shows up at one point, and man, it's like Sci-Fi Channel original movie bad CGI.
Yeah.
And that was...
Ooh.
But and they talk about how there's like a lack of any good sets. They're like, yeah, they're on this planet, but the only things that are on the planet seem to be a military base, a forest, and a mall.
Yes. And they're all like just like fighting over it super intensely. Well, everybody has gruff voiceovers about honor in battle. This sounds so bad.
Yeah, it's also really bizarre to me because Ridley Scott's company is working on this. I don't think Ridley Scott is personally working on this. I seriously doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has. I think what's this company called? It was some sort of funny pun, like Scott Free or something. But yeah, so they tapped his company to make this, and like the stuff his company does is actually like really good. Typically, I don't know what TV stuff they've done, but they're associated with all his movies, and then a couple other like independent movies they fund. Yeah. And yeah, I've never seen anything like bad that they've been involved with until now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a shock, actually, that they would produce something that is so hated.
Yeah. Well, the sad part is apparently, like, the dialogue is also horrible. Which is, like, yeah, nobody played Halo for the dialogue. But that game had a pretty serviceable script.
It did. Like, I mean, it was kind of the script of Alien.
Yeah. But I'm not even talking about, like, the plot. Like, just the dialogue and banter between the characters was generally well written in those games. And, like, fun to listen to and well voiced. So to hear that even that is just terrible in this is like, oh no, you guys. Like...
Now, the other thing I should mention is the other studio that was working on this is a now defunct studio. And that may have a role to play in this. Because remember how they were going to produce a lot of television content for the X-Bone? And then when the X-Bone wasn't selling as well as they hoped, that was like one of the first departments that they cut. I think we reported on this a little while back.
Right.
But yeah, they cut their like television media department. But I think that group had already made like the first season of this, right. Or because they had partnered with Ridley Scott's company, there was like someone else to work on it. And because it was like their flagship original series, I guess they just decided to keep trying to make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot. I think everything else. You don't remember this at all when they were first talking about Xbox One? Between them talking about sports. They talked about original programming.
Mention this.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember this now. I just didn't make the connection.
And we stopped hearing about it because since the X-Bone didn't sell very well, and then they got Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer said, "Let's move it more toward games."
Right. This kind of got swept over.
Yeah. Which was probably a good idea. It really should have stayed there.
Yeah. But
so this
now it's here.
Yeah. So this seems like part of the reason why this is so gimped is probably because it was gimped when they realized that they couldn't sell their console around it, so they just cut all its funding.
I believe that news editor T.C. Scottick of The Verge said it best when he said, "This show is so bad, I'm buying a PS4."
And that's all we need to say.
That's all we really need to say about it. So, Halo Nightfall. Watch it if you want to watch something terrible, I guess. Endorsement.
Send us money.
Do you think they'll give us money if we pretend that we like this show?
Well, then we'd be real video game journalists.
Right, yeah, I know.
Now it's time for stuff that we're not getting money for.
Yeah.
Some plugs.
We decided, because we all both have things to plug, so we might as well do it.
Yeah.
So why don't you get us started?
Alright, so if you like podcasts... If you're like me and you like podcasts, my friend's podcast called Paranormal Punks Podcast.
PPP.
Yeah. Oh no. So,
I didn't mean like that.
So paranormal is not spelled like the word paranormal. It's spelled like pair-a-normal. So it's a pair of normal punks. It's a joke. It's wordplay.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the show is my friend James Stephen Christopher. I always say his full name because his name is amazing. And his girlfriend Brienne, and they every couple weeks, I think it's every 2 weeks, they put together a really nicely produced show that is a punk band that is like an indie band that they have found that they really like, mixed in with them doing stories on paranormal stuff. So they talk about like UFOs, Sam Squanches, Zambambos.
I love those.
You love all those things. Yeah, and they just do like all sorts of ghost stuff and alien stuff. It's great. It's like really fun, goofy conspiracy theory paranormal things. And the punk music they choose is really cool too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really well produced show. It's a lot of fun to listen to. They just started their second season of it. Like last week they posted the first episode of that. So you can find them on iTunes. You just gotta type it in the way I said. So Paranormal Punks.
Are there hyphens?
No, it's just all one word.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it.
Okay.
You can also find them on Facebook.
Gotcha.
And like them there, and there'll be links to the show. I think they have a site as well, and I think it has like a weird address because it's like hosted on like a free thing. I can't remember.
Angel Fire.
Oh.
Or GeoCities.
GeoCities. Paranormal Punks GeoCities. That's not true. Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Well, maybe you should go there, but that's not where you'll find the podcast.
Can you even go to GeoCities anymore?
I hope so.
Or does it like plunge you into an abyss if you try and go to a GeoCities URL? Oh, our younger viewers might not get that one. Listeners. I don't know why I always say viewers. Wrong sense.
One of our listeners actually keeps telling us that we need to set up a webcam and live stream, but then we'll get swatted if we do that.
Ah!
That could be fun. So we should set up a webcam.
We should get ready for it.
We'll put a sign outside your door saying, "SWAT members,
Dear SWAT
please,
team,
please, we're recording. Please be quiet.
Please don't beat us."
At least beat us quietly.
I also have something to plug on this week's show, and that is a YouTube channel run by myself and my friend Nate. And this YouTube channel is called Hot Gaming Date. You can look us up and please subscribe. We're one of those newfangled popular Let's Play channels. We got started like, oh wow, it's been like over 2 years now, but we haven't posted any videos in like 9 months.
But you're getting back on the train.
But we are getting back on it. We were not monetized or anything, so we had no obligation to keep making videos, and life got the best of us, so we both started, kind of didn't have time to go and record things and put things up. But we're going to try and get back into it. I just today uploaded some backlog of videos that we had, that we'd recorded and hadn't gone up again yet, because we're kind of going to start fresh here. We try to finish stuff. There are a few games we've dropped just because things got too frustrating or the game was just god-awful.
You've done some great games, though. You did
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, Shadows of the Empire.
Nintendo 64. We played through God Hand for PlayStation 2.
You did Wind Waker, right?
Yeah, we finished. That was one of the. I think that was the last one we finished.
Oh, okay.
We started a Final Fantasy X playthrough, which is already really long, and that one will be finished at some point. We're taking a brief hiatus from it.
Who's the Titus didn't just get too annoying?
No, it wasn't. He's not really that bad.
Dude.
He's not really that bad. People exaggerate it.
I mean, I beat that game, but I used him as little as possible.
People exaggerate how annoying he is. But we played God Hand for the PS2. If anyone out there has not played God Hand and doesn't really want to take the time to play it, just go watch our playthrough. That game is incredible.
Yeah, you do dog racing.
We did a blind playthrough of it as well, so it'll be just as frustrating as if you were playing it yourself.
Good.
With all the game overs included. So yeah, we've done a bunch of stuff. Just today, I also put up a video that actually has my co-host Lex in it.
The Moonwalker video!
Back in January, Nate, and I played Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Because that is a 3-player game.
Because that's a 3-player game. I never actually put up the video until now. But it's up. It's up there right now. Hot Gaming Date at YouTube.
I should point out that it's not the Sega Genesis version of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, because that game is garbage.
No, it is the awesome arcade version.
Yes.
It's super sweet.
You get to turn into robots.
You won't believe the ending.
Dude,
it's incredible. It's a masterpiece.
Oh.
But so go check that out. We have a Facebook as well, which is just called Hot Gaming Date. So look us up, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. We don't try it. We're not doing walkthroughs to teach you how to be good at the game. We're just playing games and making fun of the game and each other. So it's just a good time. It's just kind of us messing around.
You have a few videos that are just like quick clips of jokes, and there's one line that stands out to me as like my favorite from one of those, which is from Wind Waker, and it's like you're outside this cabin and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and smell her clothes.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you like a girl, right?
That's what you do when you like a girl. You go in the room and you smell her clothes a little.
And Nate is just like, what?
Nate's just like, no. So we have a good time. We have a full play of Pokemon Snap up there.
Sweet.
If you want some nostalgia, it's pretty short. We did it in one sitting. That game's not long. But that was a good one. Yeah, it's a good time. We have one night we everything's sexy themed on our thing. We're called Hot Gaming Date, so we got one night stands, which are single one-off videos we've done. Michael Jackson one's one of those. We have a few more of those. We have quickies, which are the little clips you mentioned. And then we have our full playthroughs, which are like our committed relationships.
Do you know we gotta do a let's play? Pistol Daimyo.
Oh, we totally do.
Yeah, we do.
So we got some more stuff on the way for you guys. I'll give you a sneak peek, people, of what's coming up, because Nate and I are going to try and get back into this starting this weekend. Get into some stuff. We got two amazing games on the way. A little classic, everybody's favorite Castlevania game.
Oh yes,
Castlevania 64.
That's definitely the top of everyone's.
Come watch me and Nate be frustrated at jumps. Because that's all that game is.
And 3D skeletons.
And a delightful, lesser-known Wii game that I don't know if you even know this game.
Is it Squidoo? Is that Squid?
Splatoon?
Yeah.
No, Splatoon is a Wii U game. It's not even out yet.
I want it to be Splatoon. Can you do a Let's Play of Splatoon when it comes out?
I'm not even going to buy that, probably.
Can you please?
But the other game is a little Wii title known as Escape from Bug Island.
Ooh.
And all I'm going to tell you guys about this game is that it is a treat. This game, I actually watched a partial playthrough of this game, and it stole my heart. And I had to play it. So I said, what better way than to show it to Nate and make him do it?
All right, so yeah, check out
Hot Gaming Date, Facebook and YouTube.
And check out Paranormal Punks if you want a different kind of podcast to check out.
My fly's down.
God, no one would have known. I didn't even know. You didn't have to say it.
That's why I said it. It's funnier that way.
We don't have viewers. We already went over this. Go to the next article.
What's the next article? Blizzard. A big announcement from Blizzard.
Blizzard's fly was down when they made this announcement. Because this was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh no. So Bliz-Con just happened. And Blizzard announced their first new franchise in 17 years.
Yeah.
And that amazes me because it's true.
It's amazing because it's true.
Because StarCraft 1 came out in 1997.
Oh,
and that was their newest franchise. StarCraft was their newest franchise.
Yeah, because I guess Warcraft is the same franchise as World of Warcraft.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all the same Warhammer ripoff.
Yeah. It's all just a big Warhammer ripoff.
Blizzard announced a game called Overwatch. All I really want to have to say about this is it's a shooter, which immediately turned me off.
Especially because Blizzard makes such good games that aren't shooters in a world of AAA shooter titles.
Like and if you, even just looking at the art of this game that is at the top of the screen, you have a samurai, a robot, a power armor dude, some edgy grimdark cowboy man, a dwarf, sexy ladies,
two sexy ladies,
an angel, and a gorilla with armor on,
and then a giant knight guy.
And it's like, I look at this and I'm like, it's just another quirky sci-fi game.
And it looks very...
It's just another thing onto the pile of Borderlands and of Borderlands and hello person in chat, of Borderlands and what's that other game? WildStar and that other one that we can't remember the name of.
The new thing that
The new Gearbox game.
Yeah,
it looks just like Borderlands.
Game. Yeah, that one.
Borderlands, again. Borderlander. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that there have been so many of these colorful, quirky sci-fi games coming out in the past decade, and it's wearing thin on me, at least, already. Like, I look at this, and they're like, look how inspired and quirky our new game is, and I'm like, no, Blizzard, you just made WildStar.
Oh, this article's from Destructoid. From today.
Yeah, excuse me.
It has one of the best first lines I've seen. So you see the picture up top, and then the first line is it an aquarium building sim? No. It's a shooter game.
Yay. I would have preferred an aquarium building sim.
I would love to see Blizzard make an aquarium builder.
It would probably be awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, this game, like, even in this article, they says there's a fighting gorilla in it, and it's coming sooner than you might expect, with a beta starting in 2015. So, like, this game, like, they're already just trying to sell this on, like, look how quirky it is.
Didn't they just shelve a game they've been working on for, like, years and years? Yeah.
Yes. Which was supposed to be, like, another big IP of theirs. And I guess that there's some elements of Titan in this. Another article, I can't remember where the other article was. Another article I saw said that there were some elements of what Titan was going to be in this. So Titan was presumably going to be some sort of shooter thing as well. Which, as I recall, was one of the few things people knew about it. There's gameplay previews for a bunch of the different characters, so I don't believe this is going to be like a create your own character thing. I think it's like you use these set characters.
Yeah.
Which also gives me echoes of League of Legends in that you are given pre-made heroes who you choose to play as.
Yeah.
And you get more skill to one. It makes sense that they would try and do something from League of Legends. Like a League of Legends standpoint, because, like, it's big right now.
So hot right now. But yeah, this is... So you can check out this article on Destructoid. It's just entitled, Blizzard announces first new franchise in 17 years, Overwatch. And there's all sorts of videos on there of the trailer and some gameplay bits and stuff.
Yeah.
You can make your own decision about it. Is it the best aquarium building sim you've ever seen? You tell us. But yeah, this is just not what I expect from Blizzard.
No.
A. B. Extremely disappointing. C. Extremely Japanese looking to me. Like, the fact that there's like a big knight in power armor and like sexy ladies.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's not particularly Japanese, but
it looks to me like Western art inspired by anime style art, because it doesn't look. I know what you mean. It looks Japanese, but it doesn't look like a Japanese thing that actually came from Japan.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It's not weird enough.
No, not nearly. So yeah, I mean, look, check it out if you want. I'm sure we'll be talking about it more at some point, because it is a big benchmark for Blizzard, because they have not put out a new IP in so long.
So there's going to be more news about it.
For sure. I just wish that it was a more intriguing prospect. Like, as soon as I found out it was a shooter and saw this promotional art, I was immediately like, oh, I'm not interested.
I think Blizzard is one of the companies that does grimdark, like, way better than a lot of other companies, probably because all of their early IPs are influenced by Warhammer.
Yeah. And Warhammer's the king of grimdark.
That's true. So, it's, I just really wish that they were making more properties like that.
I want them to make things that have their own identity. In a sense. Like, I don't want them to just be making... Like, this just looks like they're making what everyone else is making right now. Because even Destiny. Like, Destiny's not so much quirky, but it's just another sci-fi shooter.
Yeah.
Like, that art, even if you took out a gorilla, it just looks like a guy from Destiny. If you make that gorilla a regular person, his armor just looks like something from Destiny.
If that gorilla was a guy, he would be in Destiny.
He better be voiced by Peter Dinklage.
I hope so.
There are many bananas here. In the darkness. So, yeah. Way to go, Blizzard. Good luck with that, I guess. Let's talk about Nintendo.
Oh.
So,
in an article from Polygon from November 6th,
Nintendo President Satoru Iwata addresses concerns over recent health problems. So Mr. Iwata had a very serious operation recently. He was out of work for a while because of this. He had a bile duct growth, which needed to be surgically removed.
Lovely.
Apparently, and this is apparently very, very difficult to treat because it's hard to detect early, and it usually involves very invasive surgery to get rid of it. So he was lucky because they found it early and could remove it early as a result. And Iwata says that he had surgery last week and he came through it well, as was predicted. People were very concerned because if you look at the most recent Nintendo Direct, he does look very thin and a little jaundiced compared to how he usually looks. Usually kind of a round-faced, cheery-looking guy, and he definitely looked like a little sallow in the cheeks and stuff. So a lot of people were really worried, saying that he didn't look too good. And that is just a result of the surgery and treatments, and he is on his way to bouncing back. So that appearance, don't worry everybody, like he's recovering fine. That's just what happens when you get serious surgery sometimes.
Yeah.
It takes a big toll on your body. But that's why he skipped June's E3 event on the advice of his physician and all that stuff like that. He says he saw many worried comments over how thin he'd become, but that everything is fine, and he wants to thank his doctors, the hospital staff, and everyone else who assisted him. And the fact that he was in this most recent Nintendo Direct this week
is a good sign.
Definitely a good sign. He's well enough to get up and go back to work and record that video for everyone.
So we've been covering... Actually, we've stayed away from covering a lot of it, but there's been a lot of negative stuff in the news about video games lately. I mean, even when we were talking about the swatting thing earlier in this episode, that was not pleasant.
But the big thing is Gamergate and all of this harassment stuff that's been happening. And like you said, we're trying to focus on the other news.
Yeah.
It's an unpleasant subject. We'd rather people kind of enjoy themselves when they listen to our show.
But it's so nice to see that, Iwata was going through this tough time and people cared.
Yeah.
And, wanted to make sure he was alright.
Don't copy that, Floppy. Your feel-good gaming news show.
So yeah, that was really encouraging to me that people were reaching out to him, being like, "Oh my gosh, we're so sorry that you're not feeling well."
Dude.
He is.
Everybody likes that guy.
Didn't we do a story a while ago about how his approval rating is through the roof?
Yeah, even though Nintendo's not doing great right now, everybody loves the guy. That he has no chance of being fired.
He's such a great guy.
He's so charismatic. So, on the heels of that, I mentioned that there was a Nintendo Direct this week. This Nintendo Direct had some interesting announcements. Not the least of which, as quoted mentioned in a Kotaku article from this past Wednesday the 5th.
Although the Nintendo Direct was on Wednesday, right?
Yes,
okay.
It was. Around noon or something. Majora's Mask. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is coming to the 3DS.
Nice.
This is awesome, because this is something that people have been talking about for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever since the Ocarina of Time came out on 3DS. People have been like, where's Majora's Mask? Where's Majora's Mask?
I also feel like Majora's Mask is a great Zelda game, but one that is often overlooked because it doesn't have the villain that all the other Zelda games have.
Majora's Mask is an amazing Zelda game because it's one of the only Zelda games that's different.
Yeah.
It's the most unique of any of the Zelda games, in my opinion.
Because you essentially are playing as a lot of different characters when you use the different masks.
Characters, there's a totally different format to how you go through the game.
Yeah, because there's the time component. Yeah.
The story and setting of it are much darker as well, and it's a lot more story heavy. It's not just you have to go save the world. The stories are much more personal. It's a much more personal story about Link. It's just a very different game as far as Zelda goes. And as a result, when it first came out, it was kind of overlooked. But it has developed a big cult following. And kind of, as people have gotten older, I think, people who grew up with the Zelda games, people have been able to appreciate it more as they get older and kind of see the layers to it, and replay it. So it's awesome to see Nintendo acknowledging that this game kind of made a little resurgence, even though it was not like the best received when it first came out.
Yeah.
Because it's a terrific game. It's really fantastic. And I think I'm going to pick this right up as soon as it comes out and give it another playthrough.
There was a little side article about a bunch of different merch that they were releasing with it, like a poster.
Yeah.
It is the coolest poster.
Yeah, it's super awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a really cool special edition of it that's going to be put out. So yeah, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Did they have any news about when it's coming out?
I totally don't remember.
This spring. So spring 2015.
Yeah, that's not far away.
No, not bad at all. So yeah, cool news. They did a little trailer for it in the Direct if you want to go watch it, so you can see some of the remastered graphics. It looks great. And it looks, the Ocarina of Time remastered looked great too, so this is no different. Yeah, in addition to that, in the Direct, they announced some news about your favorite game, Lex, Splatoon.
Yes!
They actually did have some new news about that, which was actually pretty interesting. The game's a multiplayer arena shooter. However, they announced that it will actually have a single-player campaign.
Good.
Where you fight against octopi.
Good.
Evil octopi.
Yes.
They're trying to stop you with their weird robot suits.
So,
as they said in the trailer, squid versus octopus, the great battle of nature.
That's great.
So, this game is charming. I think Splatoon is charming and kind of neat.
It's not the next big Nintendo franchise.
No, I don't think it's the next big Nintendo franchise, and for some reason, I'm just not that excited about it.
No, I'm not excited.
I almost feel like I should be more excited about it.
It's not... Well, it's interesting because all Nintendo franchises just have these really interesting, unique characters.
Yeah.
And Splatoon doesn't.
No, or at least it doesn't seem to.
It doesn't seem to, at all. So... that hurts it a lot, I think. Even though the gameplay and the mechanics look like they'll be solid and fairly fun, it really needs, that sort of iconic character to carry it as a real franchise.
And given that it doesn't seem as though the characters are going to be, I don't think there's going to be much dialogue or much in the way of story to characterize any character in it. So, I feel like it'll stay that way. You'll just have Splatoon character. It's Squid Girl from Splatoon.
See, it's interesting because, you look at Mario.
Yeah.
And there really isn't any dialogue, but it's, so absurd that it's, an Italian plumber that's saving a princess in this weird fantasy land.
Yeah.
And I was like, all they need to do with Splatoon is, have some sort of really identifiable, normal character be the main character, and then the rest of the game be really weird.
Yeah.
And it would have, I think I would have had more of a connection to it if they used that kind of formula with it.
What else did they talk about? They talked a ton about Amiibo.
Those little figures?
Yeah. The first wave of them is of 12, I believe. 10 or 12. Is going to be launching with the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. Later this month. And then the second wave of 8 more characters, including my favorite, Captain Falcon, are due out in December. So they've announced that those figures are going to be usable with Super Smash Bros., obviously, as well as many other games. Link is going to be usable with Hyrule Warriors. Mario is going to be usable with a bunch of games. Mario Kart, all sorts of other stuff. Link works with Mario Kart as well. And just about all of the other ones are usable with Mario Kart as well to get special costumes based on those characters in the game. So they're already doing a pretty good job covering their bases as far as when they said, you'll be able to use these figures with lots of different games. They're already showing that is true. So hopefully that'll keep up. Because I plan on picking up the Captain Falcon one when it comes out. Kind of just because I want a little Captain Falcon figure.
Oh, who doesn't?
But also, I'm going to have Smash Brothers, so I can use it with that. And I'm sure something else will come up in the future that I can use it with.
You could get a Mewtwo one and use it. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. So, that is that.
So we've got about 5 minutes left, because we started about 5 minutes after 9. So if you want to talk about a last story or jump right into games, or
let's talk
try
about
and do
last
both.
Story a little bit.
Okay.
Because I don't think
this
I'm
is really
squeeze
quick.
That review in again.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not worth it at this point. This is just a cool little snippet of news. CD Projekt, which I believe is actually how you're supposed to say their name. But I'm not sure.
What,
the
are they
makers
Norwegian?
of they're Polish.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe. Makers of the Witcher games have announced. So last year they announced that Witcher 3 Wild Hunt's DLC would be free on the PC. They have now confirmed that it will feature 16 pieces of DLC, all given out for free, no strings attached, to everybody who buys the game. And this will also be the case for the PS4 and Xbox One versions.
Nice.
They are saying, cutting to the chase, this is an article on Destructoid from the 6th. Cutting to the chase, everyone who buys Wild Hunt will receive 16 specially prepared DLCs absolutely for free, regardless of platform. You don't have to pre-order, you don't have to buy any special edition. If you own a copy of Wild Hunt, they are yours. This is our way of saying thank you for buying our game. My guess is that the main reason they're doing this is as a piracy protection measure, in a sense. Because this is your incentive to buy the game and get all this free stuff. And I like this a lot as a method of doing that.
My mind just got blown because
Why?
I just thought of something else.
What?
You know how there are so many shooters that don't work on launch because they need DLC?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're doing it.
Maybe that's why. Oh man,
To
it's like
prevent
stealth
piracy?
patching. Yeah.
That's still jerky though. But no, so this is great, especially on that point about piracy prevention, because it offers an incentive rather than a penalty.
Right. I mean, look at all of like Ubisoft's DRM that they've done over the years for like copy protection. That's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
You need to log into their servers every time you want to play the game, and it never ends. Like, it's not even like it's only for the first week or something. Like, no, it never ends. Like, you're just... you feel like you're being punished for trying to play the video game that you bought. So this is, like, a nice way of doing it. And if they're nice to your consumers, like, people are going to be less likely to pirate your game.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, I want to give them my money because they're a cool developer. So, good on them. Those Polish guys know what's up.
So many uplifting stories today.
So good. All of them were great except for that one about the sequel to Destiny.
That was a real downer.
That's the one that drives me to drink. So yeah, let's talk about some upcoming video game releases. Big ones right at the top of the list on the 11th are Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Coming out pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
Digimon All-Star Rumble. I can't believe they're still making Digimon games.
I can't believe they're only making it for the PS3 and 360.
Well, not particularly popular Digimon games.
Yeah, I guess. Halo the Master Chief Collection.
I'm sorry, the Halo the Mr. Chef Collection.
Okay.
On the Xbone.
Halo Man Adventures.
Halo Man
Xbone Edition. We got Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham.
I really want Will Arnett to just voice Batman in all the Lego Batman games.
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but I still want that to be the case.
It would be great. Got the Sonic Boom video games to coincide with that new TV show. Sonic Boom.
Wow.
Because everybody knows Sonic the Hedgehog's a real hot commodity right now.
Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric and Shattered Crystal.
There's so many crystals in those games.
God.
Got Tales of Hearts R, the latest in the Tales games, which is one, I think that one came out a while ago.
Well,
in Japan, I think.
So was Tales of Hearts Q the one before that?
Yes.
Okay. So does that mean there's going to be 26 of them? Is that what I'm getting?
It's JRPG, man.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
We got Valkyria Chronicles, which is a game that came out a while ago on the PS3, coming out on Windows.
Ooh.
This was a surprise announcement, like, just a couple weeks ago. But that's cool. Anyone who likes JRPGs and or turn-based strategy, like, military games, should check this out. Because it is a really good game. I played it on the PS3, and I loved it. Like, it's super good strategic gameplay. Lots of stuff to do in it. Lots of variation, because you get to build your own team of, like, soldiers and everything, and choose upgrade paths and play through this story. Very well done video game. And very pretty looking, too. Nice cel-shaded graphics. And then...
The 13th.
The 13th, the big one. World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah.
Hooray.
I mean, I guess I'm more excited than I have been about a WoW expansion in a really long time.
This is an interesting one because they have the stat crunch coming in with it. They're going in a totally different direction with the plot of it.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to their roots a bit, so we'll see how it goes.
Going back to the Grimdark.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Oh, and it's got the graphic overhaul.
That's true.
As well, which, like you said, just makes it look like a game from, 2009 instead of 2004, but whatever. So, yeah.
So we're just about out of time. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
We have been Don't Copy That Floppy, your weekly video game news podcast. We are on chipbit.net. You can listen to us live on Fridays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on chipbit.net. You can either listen in the on-site player or you can download a playlist file, listen in iTunes or Winamp. If you want to check out our archive, there's an archive on chipbit.net on our show page. Also, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. There's an archive there. You can also follow us, you can like us on Facebook. Don't Copy That Floppy. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF Podcast. And you can join our amazing group on Steam, Don't Copy That Floppy. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Dan?
No.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
And remember, don't copy that floppy. Floppy. Floppy.